Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's winter. Today we're going to be diving into the Polar 65 by Arbiter Studio 65% Hall Effect mechanical keyboard. So starting off, I would like to say that this is my first entry into something that's not like Logitech or HyperX or Razer. This is something new to me. The peripheral scene is something that I'm like really fresh into. So I'm still learning a lot. I'm still learning preferences and all that stuff. So I'm sure my opinions will not at all be what a lot of more experienced people feel about this keyboard. But as a newbie and a beginner in the space, I feel like my opinion is kind of valued for newbies, coming from something different than this. So starting off with an overview, the Polar 65 is a 65% keyboard that's really been turning heads right now for all the right reasons. It boasts a premium build quality magnetic Hall effect, switches, and features that cater to both gamers and typists. It has a CNC aluminum frame, bottom case silicone for dampening, and those magnetic switches deliver a smooth and thoughtful keystroke. Plus, there's a neat rapid trigger technology that dynamically adjusts the reset point for enhanced responsiveness. I think Wooting is probably leading in that, and you see a lot of companies trying to copy or do their own thing in that way. Razer probably got the closest from what I'm seeing, and then Logitech with their new keyboard that everybody's trashing right now. Apparently they're trying to get into the rapid trigger technology as well. So inside the box you get the Polar 65 itself, a USB-A to USB-C cable, spare keycaps, and then the keycap and switch puller, as well as the instruction manual. Speaking of build quality, as soon as you lift this thing out of the box, the first thing you feel is the weight of this. It feels so premium in your hands. It feels, I feel like I could throw this at a wall and it's not gonna budge, just like the old Nokia phones. I really wish that people with something like this HyperX, I use this thing for forever. But I really wish that like more people could just feel the quality of something like this and forget all the other stuff. This thing feels premium all the way. So let's talk about the switches. These bad boys allow for an adjustable actuation distance from 0.1 millimeter to 3.8 millimeter with a default at 1 millimeter out the box. So all the keys are set to 1 millimeter, and then you get the option to customize each actuation point in their web app. So I believe these switches are made by Gateron, and I believe Arbiter Studio has the only rights to these switches. These are the Fuji switches. And Arbiter also just come out with a dual rail system switch, and that eliminates a lot of the wobble that these have. And the wobble's not terrible. Coming from something like HyperX or anything like that, I still don't mind it at all, but there is a slight wobble. It's nothing crazy to me. Others may feel differently about it, but that's just my opinion. So let's get on to a sound test of these switches. So from what I have seen, a lot of people do not like the way that this keyboard sounds out of the box. I find it very thick, very thocky, and I find that it is very satisfying to just type on this thing. I used this for a week at work using AutoCAD, so typing commands, all of that stuff. This keyboard made me more productive. It felt so pleasurable just to type on this thing. It felt like every keystroke was meant to be pressed. It felt like everything that I did on this was on purpose, if that makes any sense. I know that kind of sounds weird or awkward, but it felt like everything that I did on this was intentional. So is this keyboard perfect? Honestly, to me so far, yes. The only issue I have had is to no fault of Arbiter, it's just fault of myself. As I'm typing or anything, a lot of times I would overshoot like the backspace and the shift button. The keys on my last keyboard were a little bigger, and the placement of the backspace was further. So typing and working from home and all that, I got so accustomed to the distance of my other keys that as typing and all that, I would overshoot a lot and end up hitting the apostrophe key instead of the backspace. Same thing for the shift. If I went to shift or whatever, I'd end up hitting the top arrow. But it's not a big deal. I mean, you get used to it. I've kind of relearned. My hands have relearned or whatever. So I don't really have the issue anymore. But it's not, like I said, it's not an issue with them. It's an issue of, personal use or whatever. In conclusion, after spending a week with this thing, well, over a week now, I've probably become their biggest fan. I plan to upgrade all the switches in here to the dual rail system just to see if the wobble is any better. I really don't mind this, but I'm probably still going to do it anyways just to support the brand. But I have been recommending this thing left and right. I'm sure I have annoyed several people just trying to push this, but I feel like people that have not experienced something like this needs to experience something like this because it's totally different than anything that I've used before. The build quality, the features, the price, it's all top notch. So if you're in the market for a new keyboard, definitely give the Polar 65 a look. I'll drop a link in the description below to where you can pick this thing up, as well as a discount code that is not mine, but it will save you a couple dollars. And you'll be able to get this thing for a little cheaper. I got it on sale several weeks ago now. I think it was their spring sale. I got it for $114, and then I think retail now off of the sale is around $150. So if you've made it this far, thank you. This is something that is way out of my comfort zone or usual content that I've ever done. I'm not much of a talker anymore, but I want to get into reviewing more peripherals and making more content. So leave a like, comment, don't forget to subscribe or hit the bell notification. You know how YouTube is here lately. But yeah, guys, that's it. I have a couple items coming in the future. I'm about to order 4 or 5 mice, and then I have a chill key in the 75 coming that I will be comparing this to when it comes in. So my opinions on this may change. I hope not, because this thing has been a dream so far, and I think that everybody that gets this or has had this has really enjoyed it, and I haven't seen any negatives about this. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching.